Thanks for tuning into the BoshNRoll channel. Liking the video and subscribing to the channel are free and easy for you, and they help me out a lot. If you want to go further with your support, Patreon and YouTube membership offer access to the BoshNRoll Discord community, early access to lists, written content, things like that. You can have me play your deck on the channel, and the highest tiers come with individual coaching sessions. If you use YouTube membership, you also get sweet badges and emotes integrated here into YouTube. You can support the channel while you shop at tcgplayer.com by using my affiliate link in the video description, and you can play any deck anytime by using a cardhoarder.com loan account on Magic Online. If you want to wear your support, check out the merch store. And of course, thanks for being here. Now let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Modern, and at the request of Patreon subscriber King of the Depths, I am playing Tameshi Reality Architect Combo. I'm really excited about today because I've gotten dumpstered by this deck on the channel a couple times recently, and excited to get to play it myself. What we're doing here is Tameshi is a 2 and a blue, 2/3 Moonfolk Wizard. Whenever one or more non-creature permanents are returned to your hand, or returned to hand, interesting the card is said that way. Oh, because it doesn't have to go to your hand. Return to hand. Yeah, I guess that would be anyone's hand. You draw a card. This ability triggers only once each turn. So the first time something is bounced per turn, you draw a card. And then white X, return a land you control to its owner's hand, which triggers Tameshi, by the way, if nothing's been bounced yet. Return target artifact or enchantment with mana value X or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate as a sorcery. Tameshi combos with Lotus Bloom. Sack Lotus Bloom, add 3 mana of any one color. If you make white, 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 then there is now a 0-cost artifact in your graveyard, and you have 3 white floating. You can spend a white and return a land you control to put the Lotus Bloom back in your hand. And you can make basically 2 mana per land you have. You net 2 mana each time you do this, and you bounce all your lands and make that much mana. The payoff for that is Cultivator Colossus. 7 mana plant beast, trample, power and toughness equal to the lands you control. When Colossus enters the battlefield, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. If you do, draw a card and repeat this process. Conveniently, we just put a bunch of lands in our hand, so we know we're going to get a bunch of triggers out of Cultivator Colossus. You drop all your lands. You get a card for each land you drop. You can keep playing lands that you draw along the way with Cultivator Colossus. And you end up with a shitload of lands in play, a giant Cultivator Colossus in your hand, or in play, and then most of your deck in your hand. And Tameshi is still in play. Lotus Bloom's still in play. You just go again. And you go until you can Finale of Devastation, search your library and or graveyard for a creature card with mana value X or less, put it onto the battlefield. If you searched your library this way, shuffle it. If X is 10 or more, creatures you control get +X/+X and gain haste until end of turn. That's the end game, folks. We get the first Colossus down. It draws into the second Colossus, which, if we need it, can draw into more creatures and the finale. And then you just smear with your +X/+X haste creatures and win the game all at once. And that's how that works. The whole deck is built to put lands into play and find the necessary tools. So Arboreal Grazer, Explorer, our land-producing cards, Eladamri's Call, there's 4 of them here. My Moto set is just mismatched, but there are 4 of them here. That will find you the Cultivator Colossus or the Tameshi. Wargate, Bant X, search your library for a permanent card with mana value X or less, put it onto the battlefield tapped. So for 3 mana, X equals 0, you can get a land or a Lotus Bloom, Bloom being the important one here. You can Eladamri's Call for Goblin Engineer, which can drop a Lotus Bloom directly into your graveyard. If you have more mana, you can Wargate for Tameshi. You can even Wargate for Teferi if you have a bunch of mana and you're just trying to find protection. And there are one of Skyclave Apparitions and Omnaths if you need to go off your main plan, and Wargate plus Eladamri's Call and Finale of Devastation, which is also a tutor until it's winning the game. All of these can find your bullets or your combo pieces. This is just a really tight deck, and it's built to do the thing. And from what I've seen, it's pretty good at it. This is also my first time playing with Jetmir's Garden and Spara's Headquarters. That's pretty sweet. Got new on-color triomes. Don't have to patch it together with what's available. Now just all 10 wedges exist. Looking forward to fetching smooth Trio mana in this league as well. It's the little things that make me happy. Sideboard is just things you'd expect. 4 defense grid, 4 Leyline of Sanctity, 4 Leyline of Void, and then 3 bullets you could search for with all your creature stuff. Really tight sideboard, very clear that comboing is the only real plan in this deck, and the whole sideboard is built to help it happen. Let's go do this thing. I'm on the draw, and not entirely sure what a keepable hand looks like here, but I see Eladamri's Call for Tameshi, Wargate for the Bloom, and Cultivator Colossus to pay off with 2 lands to get us started. I'm going to keep this. Obviously, Modern is a high-power format, and I hope that my things are still there when it's time to use them. We've got a Zeotora's Proving Ground, speaking of triomes, and I've been bobbled. Wonder if this is Boomer Jund. Okay, I can turn Timber Symbiosis. I should probably do that, because if this is like any deck, I think any deck that would play Zeotora's Proving Ground is also going to have Thoughtseize in it, and this is also my only green source. I'm going to play the turn Timber tapped. That also saves me 1 life if I shock in Hallowed Fountain next turn, or shock in turn Timber next turn. It's 1 life difference. Tarmogoyf, Boomer Jund confirmed. Oh, Tameshi, what's up, buddy? I think I want to shock in Hallowed Fountain. Then I can Eladamri's Call if I need to. I could also just wait. Yeah, I can just play Hallowed Fountain and pass. I'm going to keep it tapped. Because Thoughtseize at this point, I guess I probably did want to shock that in, actually. Because in my head, I was like, oh, I can just replace whatever they Thoughtseize. But I would have to spend 2 mana later to replace it, when I could Eladamri's Call now to replace it. Yeah, and they're going to have it and just punish here. I can feel it in my bones. Okay, I mean, if you had Thoughtseize, you would have played it before combat. So that must not be the plan. BRC, okay. Alrighty. Options here are Wargate for the Bloom, or Teferi. Those are basically the only real choices. I'm playing Otawara, that's for sure. So Teferi bounces Tarmogoyf, then dies, and doesn't really do anything. I think I want to get the Bloom. This will reveal exactly what I'm doing. That's okay. As long as I do it, I don't really care if they see me do it. I'm 1 mana short of going off with Tameshi now, but I needed to get the Bloom into play, and I'm ready to pop next turn. I could cast Tameshi now, but I'm not going to give them Lightning Bolt as an out when I don't have to. But Tameshi, importantly, is activate as a sorcery, so Lightning Bolt does break up the Tameshi business. If I draw an untapped land, I think I can Teferi and then Tameshi. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, I need an untapped source of mana. Inquisition is happening. We knew this was coming, but I have the double Tameshi with Eladamri's Call and actual Tameshi. Can't Inquisition a Cultivator. I also do get a land drop next turn. I don't have to play this ETB tapped land. Taking 5 here. We're going on my turn. I think that was a good draw. Does that matter anymore? They call up another Tameshi. Eladamri's Call, let's go. Get Tameshi. Blue. White. Play Tameshi, leaving white floating. Use this immediately. I think I want to bounce Otawara because it doesn't hurt me. It's a moment of truth. They can either break it up right now or they can't break it up. I think those are the only outcomes here. Okay, white. Play my land for turn. Float a blue. Pick up Otawara again. So 1, 2, 3 mana, 4, 5, 7. All right, I have to leave 1 land in play, or else the Cultivator dies immediately. Guess I want to pick up the Hallowed Fountain, just make sure this goes, and then make green. And we cultivate. Here it comes. I have never put a Cultivator Colossus into play before. I'm very excited. Amir's Garden, Hallowed Fountain. Found another one. We're still going. Treading water. Okay. Guess the party's over, but just kidding. I have another white floating. This is fucked. Let's pick all these lands back up and do it again. Yeah, you don't actually need that much white to go off with, so once you have a few white in the pool, you probably start want to making green and blue. Do I want to make blue? Does getting to fairy end matter? Make green with this one at least. Then I can make decisions. 10, 11, 12, 13 mana. I need to finale. I could just go all the way for 12 and just win right now, probably. Yeah, I guess that's fine. That'll probably do it. And I'm going to leave a white in the pool so I can go again. X equals 10. That's the magic number. Search the library for another cultivator. And now let's light it up. And just drop all these into play. Boop, 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 boop. And yeah, that's enough. It looks pretty lethal to me, all these hasty monstos. Turn 4 win through a discard spell. Not bad. I mean, my opponent was clearly mana screwed, not really doing anything. But we still did it. The ley lines are for discard spells, I imagine. I want those. This is going to be a hard deck to sideboard with. But I suspect Teferi is probably not great against this low to the ground discard Jund deck. Boreal Grazer, do we need to go fast? Do we need to block? Are those things important? Or is stability more important? Goblin Engineer is kind of an interesting one. That does sort of dump into Graveyard Hate. Can't really play around Graveyard Hate that well anyway. Guess I'll shave a Grazer. The rest of these cards just look really important. Not an expert with the deck. If you are an expert with Tameshi Combo, please let me know how to sideboard in the comments. On to the sideboarded games we go. I'm just bringing in the ley lines. I don't know if this hand is actually good. Just suspend Lotus Bloom and hope for an Omnath, but I'm keeping the ley line business because that's good against discard spells and a lot of Graveyard Hate also targets. I'm in. Hopefully my opponent mauls to like 5 or 6 looking for a discard spell. And we just get to Shadow Realm them. They did maul to 6. Here's my ley line. How many cards did I get? Here's that Proving Ground again. Another ley line. You love to see it. Suspend Lotus Bloom. Somewhere where we can keep track of it. And I guess I want Misty Rainforest. Probably fetching the Bant Triome. Whatever that one's called. Overgrown Tomb. And, I mean, we've seen Beseju, but I don't mind my leyline getting Beseju'd. Oh, Ragavan. Yeah, that card's legal in this format. Shit. Okay. We're gonna have to race Ragavan. Exiled a Flooded Strand, making my exile zone completely unusable. Alright, I guess I'm putting this away because it's not helpful in this configuration. Ragavan is a big reason to have both Arboreal Grazers in the deck. That's a good one for that. DRC as well. Gonna get the Bant Triome. That's as far as headquarters. Oh yeah, Wargate. If I play Stomping Ground now, Bloom goes to 1, then I play Plains. Right. Stomping Ground is the play here. I think I'm gonna want this Turn Timber Symbiosis as the spell version. Though I may need it as the non-spell version. We'll see. Using a Beseju to clear my ley line so you can hit me with a discard spell is pretty effective, but also ramping me into Omnath is pretty devastating. It's lucky that I have the one of monster that can actually just tangle on its own. Oh, no Ragavan this time. You got something better to do with the mana. Oh, just nothing go, huh? Fascinating. Dealing with that. Okay, I can Wargate for a Lotus Bloom here, but I think I need to, now that I have Colossus, I think I want to play Symbiosis tapped. And then next turn I can use my Lotus Bloom plus Wargate to, yeah, alright. I'm going to Serpentine Wood tapped, and this gives me 7 mana next turn, which is enough to Wargate for Tameshi, and then buy back the thing, the Bloom. Riveter's Charm. Exile the top 2 cards of your library until your next end step you may play them. Okay. This is like a temporary draw 3. See how it does, because I have the combo set up here with my ley line still in play. You know, one of their 3 cards in hand is Ragavan. They're going to have 7 cards to work with next turn, but still only the mana that they have. Like, this doesn't say you may play them for free or anything, just a reckless impulse for 3. They hit 2 lands and a Ragavan. That's pretty bad. Surgical Extraction messes me up, but I think that's like the only thing that I'm really worried about here. There's the dashed rag from exile, so 2 of the 5 cards in their hand in the end step are going to be Ragavan. I have to imagine at least one of the cards in their hand is a discard spell. Just give me that much. Let me enjoy it. Exiled a Leyline of their own. I didn't want that. Thanks for taking it, I guess. They could, like, Beseiju my Lotus Bloom in the upkeep before I can spend the mana. I don't have any instants to sink it into. That's a thing that exists. They could also Lightning Bolt Tameshi. With the treasure, they could also Fatal Push Tameshi. Let me see if this Lotus Bloom makes it to my main phase. And then I can start making decisions. Oh, I drew a fetch land. Maybe I just Omnath here. Omnath, land, fetch. That gives me 4 mana to Wargate. 1, 2, 3. Can I just do both? Can I Omnath into the combo here? Not quite. I think I'm 1 mana short of doing all that. But I still like the idea of Omnathing. What color do I need to make? Probably white. If I make white, I put 1 into Omnath, tap my 3 lands, and then land and fetch. Then I have white, white, red, blue, green. That's enough to Wargate with. I'm going to go for the Omnath. There he is. The big Lord of Bullshit himself. Fetch land. Gain 4 life. Fetch again. Oh, did I not account for the mana I would get off of this? Can I actually Tameshi now? Omnath is going to make 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, I actually do have the whole combo here. I have white floating, so I can get basic and still do this. Or gate, leaving a white floating. Get Tameshi. Then target Lotus Bloom with Tameshi. Pick up my forest. Are we in there, or do you have a lightning bolt? Appears to be happening. I wonder if there's a spot in this chain that they can bolt Tameshi and just leave me holding the bag, where I can't cultivate. Well, I mean, too late now. 4, 5, 6, 7. That's Colossus mana. In we go. Omnath gets 1 more trigger before he's done for the turn. Put all these lands in. Adawara, Beseiju. Yeah, all this happens. This should deal 4 once and then stop. Yeah, okay. It is doing the correct thing. I guess the party's over, though, because I didn't have an extra mana floating. And I still just drew 1,000 cards, have an 8/8, a 4/4, and Tameshi still in play. And I'll suspend this Bloom. But yeah, this turn is over. They do have a turn here to mess up what I'm doing somehow. 6 cards in hand, 2 of them are Ragavan. I have blockers now, though. Pretty big ones, actually. That was a crazy turn. Omnath is so good. This deck is so sweet. Would you like to dash another Ragavan? I will block. Also, funny enough, if they dash Ragavan, Tameshi triggering. Tameshi will trigger when the dash goes back to their hand. Or this says, nope, non-creature permanents. Damn, never mind. Alright, dash doesn't trigger that. Oh, Rag is dashed. We're getting in there. Making some kind of point. I'm going to block with my Cultivator Colossus. I'm not going to leave Omnath hanging out there to die to a lightning bolt. If they can finish off my 8/8, good for you. Go for it. I have 2 more in hand and the combo ready to ride again. Alright, just spewing 1 off because they had 2, I guess. Unholy Heat on Tameshi. Okay, no, hitting that creature in the graveyard, that gave them Delirium. Okay, story checks out. I guess I'll just have to win the game with this 8/8 instead. Seiju Who Endures. I already have one of those in play. Colossus is still the biggest thing my deck does. So Turn Timber Symbiosising doesn't make a lot of sense. I could play Symbiosis as a land, because you can't put that into play with Colossus trigger. All right, I'm going to play a Serpentine Wood tapped and gain 4 life. Then I'm going to play Cultivator. Wait. I have a fetch land literally in play right now. I'm going to fetch, get the second Omnath trigger. Grab Jetmir's Garden. Get the mana. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, nope, just 7. That's how much a card costs. 7. Play another one of these. It's not a legend. I have at least Boseiju to go again, and that'll deal 4 damage to my opponent. And I can explore still. Found another land. That doesn't trigger Omnath again, but it does make my Colossus bigger, and should be big enough to smash through here. Made it happen. That was sick. A good start to this league. On to the next round. I'm on the play for round 2. I'm going to keep this. I can call for the Welder, or Engineer, whatever version of that card it is. The Engineer. Or if I find a different path to Bloom before then, I can call for the Colossus. A Windswept Heath from my opponent. Springleaf Drum. Okay. Ornithopter. Alright, we're going. The race is on. Oh, there's more. Colossus Hammer. Okay. This is an opponent who has Pure Steel Paladin in their hand. I think I want the red Triome, Jetmir's Garden. Another Teferi. I can set up Aladomri's Call. Yeah, I probably want to do that. Urza Saga's here. That's a good Teferi bounce target. Unless there's something more deadly in play before that point, which is entirely possible. Nettle Cyst. Okay, that's pretty big. End of turn, I'm going to call. Do I want... I guess the question is, do I have more paths to Colossus or more paths to a Bloom? I think I need the Engineer. I could also just get Arboreal Grazer and pad up. That sounds so bad, though. Skyclave Apparition's not bad. That gets rid of Nettle Cyst. But I don't think I want to be on defense here. I'm trying to go for the throat. Alright, I'm going to grab Engineer. Teferi can bounce Germ Token or Urza Saga here. Probably bouncing Germ Token is better. And I can take 2 to have Otawara in my hand, or I could just get rid of Otawara. Is this game going to go to a point where I need to Otawara? I think the 2 life up front's worth more than that. Nettle Cyst costs 2 to equip, so they can spend their turn equipping Ornithopter, but... Or I could just bounce the actual Nettle Cyst, and then it's not even in play. Yeah, I like that better than bouncing the Germ, which is usually the opposite. Okay, Boseiju has a lot of text in this matchup, for sure. Next turn, I can Engineer to dump a Bloom and hold up Boseiju. That's good shit. Can't currently kill Teferi. Plus Teferi. Second Otawara. Awkward, but fine, I guess. Guess I need to shock in Hallowed Fountain here. Then play Engineer. Entomb a Lotus Bloom. And now I'm holding up Boseiju, which might just want to hit the Urza Saga before it gets to tutor. Yeah, do I want to give them another land or a... Yeah, I think them finding like Pithing Needle or Shadow Spear or some shit here is worse than getting rid of this. I hope that's true, because it's what I'm doing. They fetched in response, and then got basic planes. Okay, here we are. Now I gotta find a path to Colossus before I'm dead. I don't think I want to block here. I don't care that much about Teferi, but this is a blue build of the deck. Like, Goblin Engineer doesn't matter, it's just there for the Entomb. Actually, I'm gonna block. I can keep Teferi around. That guarantees the next Teferi resolves. Unforged Mystic, powerful card. You have a Lion Sash. Nope. Cauldron Time. And this is the Nettle Cyst. Okay. Well, let's draw Colossus and just end it. How about that? Wargate. Can that get to Colossus? Somehow doubt it. I can... Or maybe. I mean, maybe this is closer than I think it is. I plus Teferi. And I play Tameshi. I can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 11. I think I can Wargate here. Yeah, we're good. Wow, this deck makes so much mana. I need to get up to 10. Yeah, I think the Colossus will die, but I will be able to do my combo. Like, I have to go in on bounce all my lands. But I will get to redeploy with a white floating. Yeah, I can end up with 11 or 12 mana here. I'm not quite fluent with the lines yet to know if it's exactly 11 or 12, but I can Wargate for Colossus with at least one white left over. Okay, Tameshi, let's go. Pick up Otawara. I even get to draw a card. Oh, found the Colossus. Easy game. Always had it. White. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I think I do want to play my land, which is optional. Like, I could just go for Colossus, but I want a white floating. So I do want 8 mana available. So play Forest, float a green, take another round of white, and then make white here. Or I don't need to make anything yet. I can just do this. Yeah, okay. I just cast this thing with the bloom still in play. Headquarters, Forest. Found another Colossus already. Ripping lands off the top. Run them. I'll legend rule my Otawara to keep this going. Okay. And now we go again. Welcome to the Click Factory. Okay, here are all my cards, and we're gonna go again. Land. 29 cards still in my deck. Looks like we're out of lands, and found a finale though, so we're good. Oh, they were asking me about Scalding Tarn. I'm actually still going. Or Stomping Ground, whatever that card is. Done. And yeah, the finale is good at this point. I'll make white, meshy stuff. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 4, 5, 8, 9. Yeah, that's not how math works. And I can go off from here. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I could even Arboreal Grazer for an extra attacker first. My Otawara back into play for some reason. Completely unnecessary, but fun. X equals 10. Let's go. And I'll just put Goblin Engineer into play, because it doesn't matter. GG's. Oh, this deck is sweet. It doesn't even take that long to click through. Like, it's kind of a pain, but I've done worse. Playing against Hammer Time with the blue build. I feel like Lavinia and Deputy are both things I want here. Teferi seems really important. You can't cut a land in this deck. Wargate's important. Symbiosis is fine. Apparition. And maybe it's Explore. I want to be kind of interacting throughout. And Explore does help me go faster, I guess. Maybe speed is what I need to be focusing on here. Alright, I'm going to try it like this. I don't know what else I would cut other than 2 Explorers. LOL. Alex Burton cheating joke. I will not be Alex Burton cheating on this stream today, I hope. Lavinia is here, which I'm pretty excited about, but the mana doesn't cast her, but I do have Tameshi. I'm going to keep. This is a type of hand where I could definitely just die. Steel Shaper's Gift. Okay. Ornithopter. Oh no. There's so many Thopters. Okay, I am unlikely to just die now. Spend Bloom. The Seiju can help add the amount of damage I'm going to take, but if they have Steel Shaper's Gift right now, probably fucked. Springleaf Drum, not too bad. That's pretty bad. Okay, they have 2 cards left in hand. We know one of them's Hammer. There's Colossus, so I have to Shock and Stomping Ground, holding up a Seiju. Yeah, I'm going to need to draw a land. Here's Hammer. Whip cost is 0. And the Hammer was a cantrip. Bristol Paladin's so good. Animating the Inkmoth Nexus. Equipping it. Okie dokie. Another Hammer, my god. I hope they also put that on Nexus, even though that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, no sense at all. Alright, yeah, so I have to kill the Inkmoth Nexus. Or is killing the Hammer better? No, it's about the same. I'm gonna kill the Nexus. If I draw a untapped white or blue source, Deputy Detention can remove all these hammers from play. Or all the Ornithopters from play. Hammer's gotta be... Yeah, I just died to the Paladin. The other way. Okay. Gonna need that untapped source of mana here. That's not it. Alright, dead. You got me. The dimensions Boseiju and Otawara add to modern decks are so sick. You see a little bit of them in Legacy, but overall it's like kind of marginal impact on the format, but that whole cycle is just great in Modern. Okay, I brought my explorers back in. I think on the play I just want to go fast, and I think Lavinia is not as good as I was hoping. Like, they're just going to have all the zeros in play before you can even play her anyway. And I feel like Teferi and Skyclave Apparition are comparable things. And between the two, I'd rather have Teferi. Okay, I'm going to do it like this. Just try to go fast. Ships in the Night. On the play with the Arboreal Grazer and no land to put in. This one's a mulligan. This one I'm much more interested in. I'm going to keep, and I just got to hope that I get to turn 3, basically. I guess it would have to be turn 4 for the bloom to pop off. Do I want to bottom call, or... Nope, Symbiosis is my green source to even consider call. I guess it just has to be call here. They don't have a red source to hurry up the Lotus Bloom by calling for a Goblin. Yeah. Call's out of here. Spend Bloom. Play the woods tapped. And fingers crossed. Guard his aid. Bad start for me. Come on, Beseiju. Windswept Heath. Are you helpful? It's going to play the plains and make them think about Beseiju. But I guess you don't even really think about it. You just jam. Stoneforge Mystic. Okay. They picked up a hammer, as one does. Come on. Beseiju. Still looking for that. Oh, fuck yeah. We got a blocker. Oh, I just did that backwards. Nice tapped fetch land, idiot. Okay, I will pass the turn and hope that this Grazer keeps me alive into my next turn. If they have a Teferi, I lose, because Teferi stops Suspend from happening. They're cracking this third land pretty quick. Okay, that's not too bad. Well, I'm going to block Ornithopter, obviously. There's that. It does cantrip. And they get to kill my Grazer. And looks like we're here. They would need some sort of free spell, like Surgical or Force of Negation. Get out of this. Another Wargate. That'll help eventually. Fetch for a Forest. That's fine. That's all the same. Blue colorless, colorless. So I have to pop this for white anyway, so maybe I want to use white. Cast the Tameshi, then I have an extra color. Yeah, that's fine. White, white, white. Target this. Pick up Otawara and Moment of Truth. It's in there. Okay. Green on this one. Float green. Pick up this forest. And it's Colossus time. Plains, forest, hallowed fountain, don't pay 2, misty rainforest, Otawara, flooded strand. Party's over. Except another party's coming. Let's go again. I think if they could have stopped me, they would have done it by now. Probably a safe bet. And I'm going to make a gigantic finale. I'll float some blue for good measure here. Okay, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, X equals 10. Let's go. Search the library for Colossus. And put all my cards into play. Boop, boop, boo, doo, 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 doo. Circus, doo, 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 doo. Lands, here they come. Yeah, I still had lands to go, and they're just conceding. Yep, ships in the night. Arboreal Grazer for the stabilization. And it didn't look like they had lethal anyway. It looked like just 10, not 20. But still, Arboreal Grazer. Patting it up. On to the next one. We're a few rounds into the video. Thanks for sticking with me. Friendly reminder that if you're still here and having fun, smash that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, you can use my affiliate link for TCG Player to support the channel while you shop for cards. And you can try any deck anytime with a cardhoarder.com loan account for Magic Online. All these links are in the video description below. Now back to the league. I'm on the draw in round 3 with a hand with a texture I haven't seen before, which is just zillions of mana but nothing to do with it. Normally I've been the sort of lots to do but not mana. I'm going to keep this for science and just see if I can have faith in my deck to produce payoffs. A Misty Rainforest from the opponent. Gilded Goose, alright. At least it wasn't Arboreal Grazer. An additional land is not what I was looking for there. Let's see what this goose is doing. The discard spell would be so disappointing right now. I'm almost immune to it. A Wall of Roots. This is looking like Yawgmoth at this point, which is mostly a mopey creature deck, but they do also have a combo kill. See how this lines up. I think this is a hand where I don't want to fetch Triome. Oh, wow. Am I that far out of fetchables, or is that just how this particular one lines up? There's still Stomping Ground in the deck. I was going to say I don't actually want a Triome, because if I draw one, I want the ability to cycle it, because I already have infinite mana. But if casting my spells is off the table, alright, I think I'm going to stick with my original plan. Just get Hallowed Fountain and play the Triomes as actual cycle cards. Eldamri's Call. Alright, we're doing it. I'm going to get the basic Forest and play Explorer here. Explorer is a redraw, plus I get another draw step next turn. If I find an A or a B, then Eldamri's Call can just get the other half. But if I call first, like if I call for an A, then draw an A, I got to give my deck a chance to show up here. And this other Lotus Bloom. I don't think Bloom being in my hand does anything in the deck. Like, there's no Brainstorm, there's no, like, payoff for that. We have an end step play of some kind. They're making green. Courting for 0. Alright, that's allowed. Dryad Arbor is coming. That's the only card that does that. This must be a multiple chords hand, or like Eldritch Evolution. Yep, there's that. Oh, they sacked Goose. Alright. Probably the Geralf's Messenger? Or did they play like a Scavenging Ooze to lock down my graveyard? That would be annoying. Yep, Geralf's Messenger confirmed. Even get to poke for 1. The race is on. That probably matters. Like, they actually do need to reduce my life total to 0. I'm gonna get the Stomping Ground. Stick to the Triomes are for cycling plan. Lotus Bloom's coming off next turn. If I can find an A or a B, and of course I cannot. Oh, this hand might just raw dog Colossus and just like draw 4 or 5 cards and make a big creature and worry about comboing after that. Okay, I'm gonna put Temple Garden into play tapped, and I'm gonna call for Colossus in the end step and hope I'm not dead to a combo kill before then. There's only one black source in play, so they would have to Eldritch Evolution or Chord into Yawgmoth. Collector Roof also blanks this deck. I don't expect that to be in a main deck, but it's a card they could have if they're a toolboxy green creature deck. I'm about to take 4 in combat. Go to 10. If they can Eldritch Evolution their Geralf's Messenger into... Oh god, it's happening. Second Geralf's Messenger, this gets Yawgmoth. Am I just dead here? So. Or, not quite. But it's not good. I think, given that I'm dead on board to this combo, or put a -1 counter up to 1 target creature and draw a card, they can sack their whole board to kill Tameshi in response to me going off. Let's have a look here. I could also just get Omnath and go to the moon. Okay, let's see how this works. You can pay a life, sack Dryad Arbor, put a -1 counter on Geralf's Messenger. Then you can sack Geralf's Messenger, put a -1 counter on Wall of Roots. It comes back. Then sack Wall of Roots, put a -1 on Geralf's Messenger. Can't quite burn me out from here. But I'm not going to get another turn. Tameshi does at least get a redraw. Yeah, I'm going to get Tameshi. That gives me 2 shots. Yeah, finding the Yawgmoth there really messed up my style. Here's my Bloom. Let's just draw Colossus. It's not a Colossus. Okay, here's Tameshi. We get 1 draw step to roll them all. Okay, draw a card. Please be Colossus. They could panic and just kill Tameshi in response here, sacking their whole board except for Yawgmoth, which, like, while not great for me, is also fine. I think I'm more likely to win a game when they do that than if this Tameshi just bricks. Okay, they are making moves in response on their own Geralf's Messenger. Sack Messenger. Deals 2 to me. Put a -1 counter on Tameshi. Yeah, if you sack Wall of Roots on Messenger, then Messenger... Okay, I am actually dead here. It didn't have a second blue. Or I'm not quite dead. I'm at 2 on board because they can Geralf me one more time. And then I'm at 4, then Yawgmoth can attack for 2. Okay. This was not the worst possible outcome. Come on, Tameshi, draw something good. Holy shit. We did it, fam. Didn't even need it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Right? Splat. Big homie coming in. This isn't the combo, but I mean, I'm pretty stoked about it. Okay. I have an 8/8 in play against your 2/4 and 2 mana. Let's go. That was a pretty good draw of Tameshi, not gonna lie. But they were right to kill Tameshi because I would have just comboed them out if they hadn't. A land. Please don't have another Geralf's Messenger. Alright, well, this doesn't make triple black, so it can't be Messenger. If they Eldritch Evolve Yawgmoth into Messenger, I only take 2 and they don't have their sack outlet. Young Wolf. Alright, that can draw a bunch of cards. Build a goose. Okay. Alright, I'm getting a turn. 1, 2, 3. You can't cord here. Alright, and Lotus Bloom is coming down. I don't know if that's important, but it's happening. Draw for turn. And I get Omnath. Ooh, is Symbiosis better than Omnath? Probably not, because Omnath is going to pay for himself immediately. Right, yeah. Blue, red, green, white. Draw a card. Goblin Engineer. Okay. I think the only fetchables left in my deck are the Triomes. Yeah, okay. Detmir's Garden. I gain 4 life from this. Then I fetch the other one. Get the pile of mana. And I can Symbiosis looking for Tameshi. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I think that's the play. Cast this, find a Tameshi in the top 7, and we're good. Oh god, Arboreal Grazer, you fucker. Alright, that didn't work, but it does give me a 3/6. And if I attack for 8, I guess that's what I gotta do. Gotta try to get this game over. Their life total is a resource. It limits how many cards they can draw. Yeah, whiffing on that was harsh, though. There was probably a more conservative line of just like Teferi, bounce Yawgmoth, and then like instead of going for Symbiosis, I could have Teferi'd there. Wouldn't blame anyone for that. And there's no fetchables left, so I can't like fetch and dome them for 4, but they don't know that. Yeah, they don't know that I don't have any lands left. As far as they know, I can dome them for 4, or I can gain 4 life on their turn, neither of which are actually true. Okay, absorbing a bunch of trample damage. I like that. That means they are playing around the dome. And I'll play my other blocker here. Okay, pass the turn. Hope I'm not dead. Arboreal Grazer's a lot better as a 3/6 than it is as a 3. Throwing that out there. So they have Geist and Wolf here. They can draw cards until they run out of life. But with 1 mana, I don't know if that's going to get them anywhere. Like you sack Strangleroot Geist, put a -1 counter on Young Wolf. Geist come back with a 1/1, +1 counter, and Wolf loses its +1. Then you sack Wolf to put a -1 on Strangleroot Geist, and you can loop them back and forth as such until you run out of life points. But that's why I wanted to get that crack in with Colossus, because now they can only draw 7 cards instead of 12. No Dark Ritual in this format. Even if they find a land, they can cord for 2, where cording for 3 is the lethal number. Because if you do this loop with Geralf's Messenger instead of one of these non-affecting the board things, then you draw a card and your opponent loses 2 life each round. You're running out of life points. There's a land. The fetch takes away another card draw. 2 mana to work with. Okay, we are cording here. Cord for 2. What does this do? Blood Artist. Oh, that works. I'm dead. Okay, I forgot about Blood Artist. Got me for Xaxes. Because they gain a life. Alright. Well played. 1 damage short. Or they just stopped out when they knew they were good. Yeah, if I actually had a fetchable land in the deck, being able to dome them with Omnath last turn probably would have cut this off. But yeah, combo decks just taking swings at each other here. I'm pretty sure I want a Leyline in my deck. I just have to figure out which one it is. Geralf's Messenger targets. Blood Artist targets. Could also bring in discard spells. I think Leyline of Sanctity is the one that I'd rather bring in. Leyline of the Void stops their combo from happening, but Leyline of Sanctity also stops their combo from happening. It's just one of them stops them. Oh, this is actually pretty close. Leyline of Sanctity overlaps with discard spells and Graveyard Hate, which I think is where I want to be. Teferi, not super important to this matchup. Big Omnath fan. I like Arboreal Grazer. I think I want to shave a Goblin Engineer if I expect Graveyard Resistance. Backclave Apparition is great. Colossus and all of these other cards uncuttable. So it's a Grazer, an Explorer, or another Teferi. I think I'm going to cut an Explorer. This is my plan. I can see wanting Deputy Detention, but on the play, I think I just want to try to go fast. This one has no ley line. It does have a straight line to the combo, though. I'm going to keep it. I need another land, but my deck's full of those. I have the answer to Collector Oof, if they have an Oof. I'm going to play the Woods tapped and suspend my Bloom. Let's do it. Ignoble Hierarch. That's not a Thoughtseize. Blue Source. Finale of Devastation. Doesn't help me yet. I am going to need a land this draw step, or I'm in a little bit of trouble. Necromentia. Alright, well, probably can't beat that. They must name Tameshi, right? Or Cultivator. They named Tameshi, so I do get a zombie out of this. And then I'm going to have to win fair and square. Uh-oh. Fair and square is not really my MO. But I got spotted a zombie. I'm going to get to work with that immediately. Come on, land. Disappointed. Yep, that ley line. Needed that before the Necromentia, not after it. I'm not ready to give up, but I'm in a bad spot. Wow, they just nothing goad me. Did they go all in on turn 2 Necromentia? That gives me a chance to weasel back into the game. Explore is not great. I could Finale for 3. I could Wargate for 2. I could also just play Skyclave Apparition, hit the Ignoble Hierarch. I can also explore, see what happens. I'm going to start with that. Another Wargate, cool. Alright, well, if you're going to do nothing and pass the turn, I'm going to take out one of your mana sources and add to the board. Courting for 0 in response. Alright, fine. That still keeps you off 4 mana for next turn. In for 2, let's go. Grizzly Bear Beatdown is coming. I just need them to not draw any spells that they can cast or lands to cast their 4-drops for 4 more turns. That's really good against 2-drop Beatdown. Fuck you, Wargate deck. Okay, I'm not getting through this. I've seen enough. Like, we missed the land drops and my combo is exiled. Leyline would have protected me from Necromentia, and they clearly kept a hand that was all in on Necromentia, but I didn't mulligan for it, and they had me. On to the next one. I'm on the play in round 4. The Heath can get a Triome and get me set up on mana, which still doesn't cast Wargate, but I can call for Tameshi and Wargate. I'm going to keep this. This is close enough to something I want to be doing. Land go here. I think I want to get, or I definitely have to get the Bant Triome, because the red one is a splash color anyway, and not currently relevant to this hand. Spara's Headquarters. I really hate that this cycle, well, I guess both cycles of Triomes don't actually tell you what they do or what colors they get. The Plains is great. That lets me call for Tameshi and then gate for the other thing, the Bloom. I could also just cast a fairy next turn if I feel like that's important. If this is it Murktide, I can call in the end step, challenge there, counterspell, untap, jam to fairy. It's actually good against counterspell. Oh baby, what the fuck? Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield, if Genesis Timber is untapped, that creature's controller makes a mirror. Alright. So I'm gonna get some mirrors. I'm gonna call for Tameshi. Now I actually have an interesting choice. Like, they put this card in their deck for a reason. I could play Teferi, bounce Genesis Chamber, and set up for next turn. Because next turn I can Wargate. Yeah, if I just wait a turn, I can Wargate, use the the Bloom to cast Tameshi and then activate Tameshi. Yeah, okay. So I should spend a turn developing with Teferi here. Gonna bounce this Genesis Chamber. Don't know what it's for, but I don't want to find out. And now I also have the Teferi shield up. If they have a lightning bolt, they have to use it to clear Teferi because they're not gonna get a chance at Tameshi if Teferi is still in play. You all know me. I like a conservative line. And if they just replay Genesis Chamber, I think they're dead. Okay, so green, white, blue. I can do this same thing without taking damage. Yeah, if I play Otawara. Yeah, I play Otawara plus Teferi for good measure. Leave the Triumph untapped. Wargate for 0. Yeah, Lotus Bloom. Lotus Bloom cast Tameshi. Oh, I get a 1/1. That's so cool. Then go off. There's 1, 2. Okay, I got a choice to make here. I can let Cultivator Colossus die, but I get to combo again. Or I can have it in play, but my combo's over. I think I want to combo twice, because I have the Symbiosis here. Yeah, I'm going to go it one more time. Pick this up, and then make green, 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 green. Okay, this dies immediately. I get a 1/1, but the trigger still happens. Putting all these lands in. So many lands. Here they come. This is so many. Okay. I think that was the correct option. I can just rebuy Bloom again. I have Wargate that can get Colossus guaranteed. I don't need to maybe it with the Symbiosis. I can just return Colossus to play too, right? Return target. Oh, Artifact or Enchantment. Never mind. Nope. Still reading Tameshi after all these rounds. One has to make white. We'll leave a land in play this time because I want this Colossus to stick because this one has to win the game. Okay, and Wargate is mostly the same as Eldamri's Call. I guess Wargate costs 1 more mana. Alright, fine. I'll call. Get Colossus. Play Colossus. Get another Mirror token. They're going to be so dead when I find my finale. 28 cards left in my deck. Lots of lands still to go. Here they come. All my lands. Have I whiffed on finale after all of those draws somehow? Indeed I have. But I have another Colossus. And this is fine. It's just annoying that I have to keep clicking. I'm not sure if you can actually lose once you get rolling. It's a really hard combo to fizzle on. I have to make sure not to deck myself by accident. Pretty hard to do that, though. The good news is iterating this combo again means I'm going to have plenty of mana in my pool to just finale immediately. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 lands in my hand. Guess I might as well go all the way in. Feel very foolish to do all this and then miss because my finales were the bottom 2 cards of the deck. Okay, and we're back. Time for another Colossus. And another Mirror token. Pay me out with that. 16 cards in my deck. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Is there a finale yet? Okay, there is. That means I can just stop. Yeah, I'm good. And finale. X is currently 12. That's sufficient. Search library. Put our Boreal Grazer into play. Show you who's boss. Get his Genesis Chamber. And then I will move to combat. I think this is the most the deck could ever attack for because I have all these extra stupid idiots that the opponent's deck gave me. Took about 10 minutes to win that game 1, having to combo 3 times because I missed on the finale the first time. Negative 115. Splat. I could have made X bigger. Maybe I should have gone for it. Okay, sideboarding against Genesis Chamber, is it? I don't know, but I think Defense Grid is the answer. Defense Grid is kind of like additional to fairies. I feel like I want to cut Explorers or Arboreal Grazers. And anytime I see Steam Vents, I just respect Ragavan. Gotta do it. Their deck's obviously up to something, so I don't really want to cut Skyclave Apparition, but I think that if I just jam unbeatable spells on this deck, I'll beat most things. Yeah, I'm just bringing in my defense grids. Let's do it. Can't keep this one. Not enough mana going on there. This one's great. I'll keep this, and I think I want to send Finale. Like, I'll find that when I need it, but the pair of Eldamri's Calls will get me where I need to go in the meantime. Detmir's Garden. That does what I need it to, so I'll play that one. It taps for white is the important thing. Patchwork Automaton. Okay, I get it. See what they're doing now. Oh, what a twist. They are an artifact aggro deck. Welding Jar? Alright. Okay, I get it. Your thing's huge. Okay, I can just try to Eldamri's Call, or I could invest in Defense Grid. I think if I grid, then I have to start calling on my turn. Or on my, yeah, on my own turn. Yeah, I think I just want to go fast now that I see what they're doing. I might just lose to a Spell Pierce here, but I also might win the game because I recognize they're not really an interactive deck. They just tricked me with their Izzet colors. And Automaton has Ward 2, so I can't bounce it with Teferi and get it reset here. Alright, am I getting Spell Pierced? Not today. Okay, I think I want Engineer, because that can chump block. Yeah, I'm going to get Engineer. I have the mana to cast it, and it can chump. There's that. Right on time. Spend Lotus Bloom. Play Engineer. I even actually have artifacts in the deck now for the Welder part of the Engineer. That's exciting. And drawing that Lotus Bloom, putting one on Suspend, means that even if they have Surgical Extraction, I still have a Bloom left. Right, Entomb the Bloom. Springleaf Drum. Okay. They almost have enough mana to Spell Pierce me on my turn, even through a defense grid. Ooh, what's this? Nettle Cyst. Okay. They're investing in the future. I respect it. I'm going to fetch the Bant Triome and just make sure my mana's perfect. Them investing in the future is actually great for me because I think the future is mine and they need to be pressuring the short game. I think this is another Teferi bounce Nettle Cyst situation. Really hope to draw a land between my draw step and the Teferi bounce. If I can get defense grid, oh, okay. Or I could just skip that shit. Okay, Teferi, get in there. Please don't have Force Blue card as your last two cards. Bounce the actual Nettle Cyst, not the Germ. Found a land. Love to see it. Okay, now I have Teferi up, and I have my combo set in hand. Right, Nettle Cyst is 3 cards in hand, one of them's Nettle Cyst. This is probably that. Okay, Nettle Cyst is back. 1 mana left. They have to attack Teferi. If they don't clear Teferi, they lose. Oh, just going face. I will block that. And then just go completely ape on my turn with Teferi holding the shields up. Oh, wait. There's another turn of Lotus Bloom. Shit. I miscounted. All right. Oh, there's a bloom in my graveyard. I'm actually fine. Unpunished. Right, plus Teferi, and then... Yeah, I don't need this bloom. There's already one there. That's what the Goblin Engineer was for. I played correctly and perfectly, and no one can tell me otherwise. There is Tameshi. Here is my bloom. Tameshi gets to draw a card. And we're doing the thing. White mana, and we're off. Just like that is how it happens. I guess I didn't count. Do I have enough mana? Shit. So I get green, white. If I play Boseiju, I have to Eldamri's Call. Yeah, I think I'm there. I think we're good. Grab a Colossus. White. I hope this works. I mean, it's gonna work, but I was definitely, I forgot that I had to Eldamri's Call to get my Colossus, and it wasn't just already there, and did not account for it. But luckily, this is worth so much mana that it doesn't even matter. Okay, and I get to cast my Colossus with a white left over for the second round. Putting these lands into play, drawing more lands. That's how we play. There's a Wargate. I'm going to hold the Boseiju for last. I'm still going to put it in, even though it's legendary. Just the redraw matters. Okay, looks like that party's over. But I found Wargate, so we're going again. 14 mana in the pool. That's plenty to Wargate for 7. It's equals 7, and through the gate comes Cultivator Colossus. And we go again. My opponent is determined to play this out. I'm in no danger of timing out or whiffing. Lands, 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 lands. There is still no finale here. There's another Wargate, though, but we can keep it going. And here comes the other Wargate. Check my hand, make sure the Colossus isn't already in it. Nope, we're good. Good to Wargate. Colossus should find me the rest of my deck at this point. Keep an eye on what I'm drawing, so I can stop when I find finale, or I can just go forever. Can't quite go forever, like at some point I do have to stop. But I want to make sure my Colossi are large enough to destroy my opponent. Okay, I am satisfied with this number. And I'll just jam this for 1,000,000, this enormous finale, and my opponent is deceased. Finale for 18. I'll get Goblin Welder into play, because it doesn't matter. I'm not going to use the ability, and I'm going to attack for a Fuxillion. Here they are. These are 34 Cultivator Colossus CCs. And 113. Wasn't the first game 115? Pretty close, pretty comparable outcomes. We're 3-1, on to the final round. On the draw with 2 Blooms, Tameshi, and Cultivator, but only 1 land. I actually don't know about this hand. I think I should mulligan it. Right, this one I like a lot. This one also needs a mana source, but it's better set up to play a normal game than the other one was. So we're up against the Wooded Foothills Go. Found Bloom, that's exciting. I'm gonna play Hallowed Fountain tapped and suspend the Bloom. I don't know about my opponent here, but every time somebody suspends Lotus Bloom against me, I'm like, oh, God damn it. Like, whatever this is, it's gonna be bullshit. Ooh. The turn 2 Scion of Draco. I'd love to see it. Except when you're me. Yeah, that is just all 5 land types between Indatha Triome, Island Mountain, Plain Swamp Forest. 2 mana 4/4. Good shit. Do I need to play Goblin Engineer? This has flying all on its own. And it gets vigilance, hexproof. Oh, each creature you control has these words. So Draco isn't these colors, it just buffs other creatures. Okay, got it. I think I want to play my fetch land, use Teferi to bounce Draco, and I'm just trying to buy time until turn 4 when hopefully I can Wargate for Tameshi and go off. Shardless Agent. Feeling Territorial Kavu. Yeah, that's a 5/5 all day. Good shit. Okay, the blue creature is hexproof. That's how this works. All right, so I'm gonna get, well, I'm holding a red card. I have blue already, so I should get the Naya land. Still cast Wargate. And Teferi is gonna bounce the Territorial Kavu. Drew Otawara, that's good. That is the land that wins the game next turn. Okay, fingers crossed. Ignoring Teferi, going straight for the dome. Makes sense to me. Can you burn me out with Territorial or Tribal Flames? If you have 2 of them, I'm dead. No! It actually has 2 of them. Fuck my life. All right, we win that game on the play. That was pretty tight. That's a sweet deck, though. Old Domain Zoo. All right, I mean, we were there. We had it. We just got outraced. Leyline of Sanctity. Deputy of Detention. I don't think I want Defense Grid or Leyline of the Void. Lavinia shuts down Cascade, if I think that's important. Leyline keeps me from getting burned out. It also stops a lot of graveyard hate that might hit me. Deputy can also answer enemy Teferis if they have them. I think Explore is the cut. Maybe I don't want Leyline. Like, on the play, I think I just want to go fast. On the draw, I can figure out how to be a control deck. Yeah, I don't think Lavinia is actually good. All right, let's go. On the play, well, I'm going to keep. I have Bloom, I have Answers, I have Protection. Speed is on my side. Let's go. Ragavan, Yoki, Explore. Pretty happy to see that. don't like that I'm going to have to shock here. I actually think call is better than explore right now. Here comes Ragavan. Took a Tameshi. It's pretty good, but I only need one. They can play Tameshi here if they want to. Doesn't seem very good. Seems like they have better ways to spend 3 mana than that. Collective Brutality. That is, in fact, brutal. If I call, they get Wargate. If I don't call, they just take call. Yeah, I think I should call here. And I'm going to have to shock in Breeding Pool. Is there a Breeding Pool in this deck? Oh, it's Hallowed Fountain. That's right. That's the one I wanted. Because I need access to blue. Okay, so Eladamri's call in response. I'm going to get a Tameshi now that I'm going to lose my Wargate. And then I'll trust my deck's ability to produce a Colossus when it's time. And I guess they could take Explore if they're feeling frisky. Seems dangerous, though. I mean, Wargate is already a Colossus if they don't respect it. Or a strong representation thereof. Oh, bummer. I would love to put this into play, but I also kind of need to explore to even function. Alright, I'm going to explore. Tilt. Okay, this is one way you lose this. If you don't have lands to bounce, then Tameshi doesn't work. Bloodbraid Elf. Alright, if they have this much Cascade, then maybe I wanted Lavinia in. Didn't know they were all the way in on Bloodbraid Elf levels of degeneracy. Here comes my Lotus Bloom. Somebody's dead this turn. I would love to draw a land. Your Colossus. Is that even good? Probably not. Alright, I still get my land drop. So, blue. Play Tameshi. Tameshi picks up Hallowed Fountain, which draws a card. Get the Bloom back. If I shock in the Bloom, or I shock in the Fountain, which I think I have to do. Alright, yep. I'm at 5. Don't kill me. Float blue. Make... Or no, I should make white here. Make white. Make green. Gives me a rebuy on the joint here. And then white. Yeah, I think this is going to have to be a no party, or no rebuild Colossus, no body Colossus. Because I'm going to have to try to go twice. And make white. Here comes Colossus. All right, here it is. I get at least 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Got 5 that time. Get to go again. And this time it's a real one. Can I finale for big enough? No, I think I have to Wargate first. Wait. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I can finale for 7, leaving 1 white behind. Then I need the other finale to make it happen. I think that's fine. 7. And I can get the one from the graveyard. That's even better, actually. Cool. That leaves a Colossus in my deck to keep going with. And I seem to have whiffed entirely. But it's okay. We can keep going. This is kind of fun, this low resource Tameshi turn. And I wish I was just obviously winning. But I'm still feeling pretty good about this. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. This one's going to Eladamri's call. I want green. A call. Or, uh-oh, I miscounted. How did I do that? 6, 9. Uh-oh. Well, I seem to have fucked up. Well, it's not in play yet. I think keeping the combo going is more important than having the body. Oh, but then I lose both bodies. That's actually really awful. Shit. How did I do that? What have I done? I guess there's still a Colossus, and Tameshi's already here. Yeah, I'm actually just going to let my Colossus die and go again. Then make white and play Colossus. Dead. And let's go. There's the other finale. Win condition is found, and I actually need that one because I don't have other ways to win the game left. Okay. I did find some extra lands that time around. And we just dig back in here. It's thrilling viewing. I hope you're all as degenerate as me who like watching low resource combos try to make it happen. Because if you're a normal person who thinks this sort of thing is boring, then I have bad news for you. Okay, 26 cards left in my deck. Lots of lands in my hand. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This time, Aladomri's Call definitely works. And that's still better than Wargate. Here's the final Colossus. Colossus is going to start doing stuff. Got 19 cards left in my deck. Still hitting lands. Finally found them all. Okay, done with that. And now I can go for the win. I just need to finale for 10 and get the Colossus from my graveyard into play. I'm going to take it easy on this. 7, 8, 9, 10, 7, 12. All right, this is enough. I'm going to go right now. Got a Colossus from the graveyard. And they finally conceded. All right, the old 2-land start with Tameshi. Make it happen. That was crazy. Working too hard, but still got there. Okay, now I have to figure out how to be a control deck, I think. The Lavinia shuts down Cascade. And do I want the Leylines to stop from getting burned out? And Teferi also shuts down Cascade. Maybe Lavinia sucks. I'm off Lavinia. Teferi already doing most of the work Lavinia does is pretty good. The Leylines can stop me from getting burned out, which is actually kind of a big deal. All right. Can I find room for them? Explore seems to be like the only obviously cuttable card left. Omnath seems important. Timber Symbiosis is kind of a land. Can I cut Symbiosis? Is that possible? And I think I need to go fast, and like Welder is really good at going fast because it entombs the bloom and then also absorbs an attack. I really like Welder in the matchup. But also just ignore burn and try to go fast. I think that's a mistake though. I'm going with this. Because they've also showed me Collective Brutality, so they have discard spells and burn spells that can go face. Just give me a good 7 with Leyline in it. Don't make me look for it. This is a bad 7. Okay. I am happy with this. I think I'm gonna put Flooded Strand on the bottom. Or Timber Symbiosis is already a green land. Okay, I'm gonna put Forest on the bottom. Put Leyline into play. And hope their hand's full of discard and burn. Another Leyline. Never what you want to see. I'm just going to play a fetch land and pass. I want to give this turn Timber Symbiosis a chance to be a spell if it needs to be. Looks like they're setting up the turn 2 Draco here. Nope, not quite. Ooh, Tormod's Whip. That card's going to be hard to beat. But I have answers in my deck. It's fine. Colossus. Okay, I'm probably going to be Aladomri's Calling for something like Skyclave Apparition or Deputy Detention. I don't think this deck can Blood Moon me. Robert Nicholas. Each opponent loses 2 life unless they discard a card. Make a devil. Okay. Alright. They couldn't casualty it. I'm just going to lose 2 life. Basically every time forever. I'm going to fetch my 2 Triomes here. Have mana set up for the future. Bloom is coming down next turn. Curse can exile things at instant speed. Okay, here we are. Just gotta figure out what I'm doing with all this. Curse just exiled my 2 Flooded Strands. It's now a 2/2 if they come up with a creature. I guess I could discard Leyline. That's not really doing anything. Right, yeah, you can have the Leyline. I'll save my 2 life, thanks. There's Draco. Crew the Hearse, but if it does that, they lose. Alright. Time to figure out how I'm getting out of this. Could get Skyclave Apparition and just exile Hearse. And then I guess that actually sets up a pretty good win on the next turn. Yeah, I'm just getting Apparition. Play Lotus Bloom. Apparition's going to exile the Hearse. Unlock my graveyard. And I can call for Tameshi and play Tameshi and rebuy Lotus Bloom next turn. It's all there. If I'm still alive next turn. Alright, so they have a 2/2 Hexproof. Thanks to Scion. Nixilis is good for 2. I'm actually gonna... Alright, can I discard Engineer? Because if they can just, like, destroy Lotus Bloom somehow. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. You attack me for 6. All right, I'm going to discard Engineer. I'm all in here. I want to conserve my life total, just make sure I get to untap and play the game. After getting burnt out for 10 in game 1, I have a lot of respect right now. That is not a very good card, but yes, I'll take it. Green, white, call for Tameshi. I lose the Lightning Bolt, but nothing I can do about that. If they got me, they got me. Boo, boo, hiss, angry noises. The Bloom is back. It doesn't do anything, though. So I'll play the Headquarters. 6, 7, 8. I'm dead to everything, but I'll spend another Bloom and pretend I'm going to get another turn. Oh, it loses 2 life unless they discard a card. I have to discard Teferi here, because if I go to 2, I die to just everything instead of most things. Oh, right. They can't bolt me, so maybe I wanted to take 2 there. Seems like mostly the same as 4. Hope I didn't need that Teferi. Alright, Tameshi off the top. Easy game. Alright, well, I can play this thing and pretend there's going to be more game after this. Colossus. Let's put my deck into play. Even that's not good enough. Oh, you have to put a land into play? Okay. Alright, I thought you got to draw a card no matter what, but you don't. Alright, GG's. That's a really cool deck. That game 1 was nutty. Just 2 mana 4/4 into a 3 mana 2/2 and 5/5, and then they still had to burn me out for 10 on turn 4 to win the game. That was really fast, powerful modern Magic there. This deck is sweet, though. It is an insanely powerful combo deck. It's obviously like kind of reminiscent of Amulet. It has very few of the same cards in it, but you get that same sort of feeling of like there's a critical mass where it doesn't matter what I do. A lot of protection built into the deck, a lot of redundancy built into the deck. My personal play pattern, I like this sort of thing more than I like Amulet, but both decks are respectable. This deck cares a lot less about Blood Moon and Dress Down than Amulet does. So like if your metagame's ready for Amulet, but you like this sort of putting lots of lands into play and doing weird shit, this could be for you. The combo is also obviously very strong. We had multiple turn 4 wins with protection. We had some turn 4 wins through discard spells, and really, it wasn't until the last round where my opponent figured out they could just kill my Tameshi. Tameshi only activating as a sorcery is a pretty big strike, but I mean, it's good card design because this card is a giant eye roll if you could do it at instant speed. But being able to kill Tameshi, like being susceptible to both removal spells and graveyard hate, kind of worrisome. But we did get to pivot onto Omnath in a couple games. This is a sweet one. I don't know that I have much feedback on how to build this deck. I'm sure the 5-0 league that I lifted this from put a lot more thought into it than I have. But after playing it once, Explorer was kind of bad. This was like my go-to sideboard out card, and even when it was in the deck, like this deck actually only has 23 lands in it, which isn't that much for an Explorer deck. I wonder if this could be something else interactive or some way to like I would almost rather slow down than speed up. Like if these were prismatic ending or something like that, something that lets me point and click and survive until turn 3 rather than ignore what they're doing and hope to jump straight to turn 4. Maybe that's more my style and makes more sense to me. Or maybe I just played 5 rounds and that's not a huge sample size and Explorer is great. Unclear. But I feel like if there is a flex slot in the deck, it's Explore. Everything else makes perfect sense right where it is. I kind of want more out of the sideboard. Like the 12 cards, like the 4/4/4 to stop various ways of interacting with you or stopping your opponent from racing you. I don't know that that's where I'd want to be. I almost kind of want to juke. Like maybe there's a world where you can like use this Eldamri's Call, Wargate, Finale of Devastation core you have to like board into Kiki Chord or something. Or just something different, like a different set of creatures. Maybe your sideboard is just like Solitudes and Endurances and you become just some mid-range fair deck. There might be something there too. But I'm going to leave that for those of you who are interested and have all the time to really flesh out the different plans. These are my 5 matches with the deck. King of the Depths, thanks for asking me to do this. It was a lot of fun. I believe we showcased the things that the deck is good and deck is bad with.
and had some cool lines, some cool low resource combos, some absolute smears in both directions. Felt like a modern league to me. Tameshi, Reality Architect, super sweet card. I'm looking forward to finding other shells for it. Like, I think this would be cool in Legacy Standstill, like as a 1 or 2 of, being able to recite your Urza Sagas and stuff. Kind of into that. But obviously that's not as sexy as what's going on here. I'm going to leave it alone before I go down a rabbit hole. Thank you all for watching. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, check out the membership options, check out the thanks button if you really enjoyed the video or just want to say super thanks. And I will see you all for the next one.